We're talking about ordering worship. And think back now, Jesus is emerging from the waters of baptism. Word and Spirit haven't just come together, they simply have been revealed to us as being united in this person. This is who he is from eternity. So where does he go next? Our worship leader, the one who orders our worship. He goes into the desert, into the wilderness, where he is fasting. You see, he's going there to worship. And what happens but that he is approached by the evil one, the Satan. And what does the Satan try to get Jesus to do? Take control. Same as in the garden, right? If you're the Son of God, turn these stones to bread. Throw yourself off the temple. Bow to me, and all of this can be yours. Take control. At each point, what does he do? He responds, "It is written." We don't live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. You shall not put the Lord your God to the test. It is written. Worship the Lord your God and him only. At least that's the basic idea. He is speaking the word in the power of the Spirit in the sanctuary, in the desert that has become the sanctuary. You see, this place of chaos where evil is present. So now, get this. We're following our worship leader. He goes from there to Nazareth, his hometown. He enters the synagogue on the Sabbath. You remember what happens? They hand him the scroll. He steps up to read. It goes to the place of Isaiah 61, I think. This was the reading for the day, just so happened. And he says, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor, release to the captives, recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty the oppressed, to declare the jubilee of God." Now, if that weren't enough, here's the Son of God reading the scroll. He rolls up the scroll. This is the Word in worship. This is the Word made flesh, reading the Word made text. Rolls up the scroll, hands it to the attendant, sits down, and says, "Today, this word is fulfilled in your hearing." You see, that's what happens in worship, led by this worship leader. The Word becomes fulfilled in the power of the Spirit, in the persons and in the people, and those people are released into the world. Now, just a bit more with me. What happens when Jesus is out and about? The blind see. Remember when John's in prison? He sends word. He's like, "Have we gotten this wrong? Are you the one to come, or is there somebody else?" And Jesus says, "Go tell John, the blind see, the deaf hear, the lame walk, the dead are raised, and the poor hear good news." You see what's happening there? He is speaking words into the chaos, and the new order is emerging. The new creation. This is our worship leader.